the late update. I know we start our program very, very late. Unfortunately, there are some unexpected things happen. So I will let Gar to come up and speak on behalf of this event of today. I'm sorry for short notice, and we can really express our feeling at this. But yes, I would like Gar to come up and give you guys an update on this.
Well, thank you so much, Edith. And I think she laid it out as best as it could. And I think it comes back to us, the journey that we've been taking since turning, fears to peace, turning, hopes into things that build ourselves. And I think we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't that journey. I think we took a long journey, and by you guys coming here today, it's not for me, it's for all of us. And I think that's something that I'm proud of. As much as I could take that pleasure and say that, I saw whoever comes today, I'm humbled and had that privilege and honor to stand before you. But I think I'll be that selfish also to take it into myself and take credit, because that's the journey each one of us took from the start to the end, and that's the journey that brought you here today. Whether short or long, I think it builds with that hopes. And I think it comes with that continuity in our community. When we talk about things, we come to find out that we just flow. And we flow through rivers, we flow through airs, we flow through water. And actually we wrote many things. So I think we went through tons of stuff that we came out of it, and we came out strong. Looking in the back and looking at things that, such as today, events, I think it brings us to the mind, and it brings us to one of the things that why I stand and believe for. I believe we never had a voice. I think we think that we are voiceless. But if we think closer enough, I think we have to see that voices, and we have to bring out those issues. I think it's a continuous cycle. When we heard something that happened today, and we all of a sudden we got the messages. But I think that's something that kept happening in our community. And I think that's one of the things I'm passionate about. When we talk about things, it affects youth, but more particularly it affects our families, because I think there is a big saying all the time, we brought you guys here for a prosperous future. And I think that ripple effect, it has everybody, and it has everything in their heart. And also it has that effect in their minds. So to cut that short, I think it's time for us to stand up. It's time for us to actually stand for what we believe in, and also to solve our problems. Nobody will solve our problems but us. And such as today's problem, this is something that's to prove that we have to stand together, we have to stand together as a community, and we have to face it. We can't just stand there and say that it's going to solve itself. Bringing it back to different perspective is that a couple of months ago, this is something that we've been through. Tomorrow we're going to go through. The day after we're going to go through. The question is, what are we going to do? And that's one of the things that I'm more into it. And I'm more into public safety. When we say about it, what is the public safety? It's not just into that public safety, but it's the safety of all. We came to this country because of the fears, and we found that safety. The question is, to what extent now that safety comes into it? And I think nobody's going to answer that question but us and community. And the community is going to stand up and say, you know what, this is the end of it, and how are we going to solve it? And together, in this perspective, that's one thing that I'm actually going to work on. As running for a city councilor, I think the main thing is how to make our neighborhood safe, how to make our community safe and connected. So within that one, I'll be asking people issues, but yet not even asking issues, because that's what I live. That's what I live through. That's what we live through. You ask everybody tell me a story about something that happened. I think most of us know. Tomorrow, what we heard today is going to be something part of that story. We had so many stories to tell. We have so many issues to deal with. And we have so many problems that face our communities. And I think it's time for us to stand and actually face those problems and bring them forward. And I think for every solution, there is always a problem was behind it. And that's why now it is solved, or that's why people learn from it. So to bring that perspective, it just came to a coincidence. And I think it's just like a weather. We never know when something is going to change. We might expect, a weatherman might tell you it's 23 degrees, but the question is give and take. And it's time for us in community to not even predict those things. It's because they are reality. Tomorrow is going to be reality. The next day is going to be reality. The day after is going to be. My story, my journey is exactly like you. Each one of you, maybe you have different certain stories. And actually, the best part is that the diversity that we live in and the world that we live in is full of all the diversity, is full of all the walk, everybody from different walk of life. But one thing certain for sure is that each one of them has a story. And I stand before you today. The good thing is that our story seems to be the same. It seems to be the youth, the next generation, and how can we integrate? And how could we basically build that new generation? And I think it is within us to build it. And from today, I think we have to stand up. Soon we're gonna go visit the affected family, but each one of us, I think, is gonna say, I know this son is my son. I know this family is my daughter, is my sister, is my brother, is my uncle. So the question is, then that means everything affects us. Whatever happened, it affects all our communities, one by one, and regardless of what. And the beautiful part is that all actually South Sudanese throughout Alberta, they actually get affected by the same thing because we all know each other. We have that circle, we have that diversity, we have that inclusion. And I think now it's time for us to take that as a strength. It's time for us to look at it as a resources. It's time for us to see what could we do with it. And we did bigger things. We went through the wars, we went through the fears, we went through the droughts, we went through things. So we are strong nations, we are strong people. We came out of different experiences. And this is just one of them. And I think we are a great nation. The reason why I say that, I'll refer it back to different nations that went through bad things, but yet they became even stronger nations in the world. So the question is, we are community, how is strength that we could come out of this? And I truly believe, with all our elders, with all our mothers, with all our youth, I think we could build even and come out of it as, lessons, as things that we could actually build. This is a sincere sadness when you come in, especially, to have an issue that you are passionate about, but yet it's still continuing happening. And I'm really sad to say that although I want to work in solving, youth issues, you start seeing that as a feeling, and you get passionate about it because yet this is just proving itself is right, that our youth do need a help. Our youth, not because they're bad, not because simply they make the wrong choices, but this is part of life. This is part of cycle. This is part of their youth, and this is part of who they are. The question is that, are we integrated enough for those youth to follow proper places? So when I talk about public safety, it's not about, sometimes they say community services or how to control and basically build everything and protect. The question is how to help and how to assist and how to integrate different youth. Or sometimes simply there's a lot of things that a youth or young person might actually lack, and that's why it leads into those areas. So I think the root causes of issues, we have to tackle them. And we are the great people that know all the roots of problems. South Sudanese communities knows all the issues that we are facing, and that should be the strength. I would love to hear those issues. I would love to hear how we could solve them. And through this election moment, I think I won't say, Gar Gar is running, because somebody asked me, well, why are you running? And my simple answer is, well, I was born running, I will continue running, and I will run because this is how it is. It just happened to be you're running for election. But we run for the things that are really simple issues, things that we are passionate about, things that hurt our communities, things that we want to solve, and youth issues, and actually things that happen, such as today, such as right now. Those are things that we have to keep running for. And our mothers, they are passionate about, helping actually the kids. And as what you could see earlier, those kids learn how to dance more than I do. There was almost 6 years old or 5 years old, danced perfectly. I don't know how did she learn that one. So that means they're, quick learners. They are adaptive to environment. And we got adapted to snow. We never had snow in back home. So now we have to ask ourselves, I think it's just the simplest to bring all these issues up. And we have to keep it from now. I hope that we will, from today on, after what happened today, after what happened this night, is that we will continue from here and we will make differences. And the differences that we will make is the big differences. I will encourage this time, as always, we stand together for the bad and worth, for the good and health. I think it's time for us to keep it standing. But this time, let's stand stronger. Let's stand tall and let's walk the walk. And let's keep sometimes things that actually we'll talk about it today, let's bring them into actions. And with you guys, I'm willing actually to take that step because I feel like I'm taking the community step. I feel like I'm taking the livable communities, the communities that are safe, work, and you actually live in it without either thinking that today you will get a phone call, like what we got today. You get a phone call at 2 a.m., you get a phone call at 3 a.m., and the first thing you think about is that what just happened. I don't think so. Before we used to think about 3 a.m. calls were calls from back home, that somebody's calling you. But nowadays it becomes like 3 a.m. becomes the emergency phone call that we always look at to say, please God, make that thing go away. What is it? And if you find simply somebody saying hello to you, it takes you half hour to even come down. The worst thing, most of those phone calls goes to mothers who usually receive the first call and they don't know. And sometimes within that moment, your kid is somewhere playing soccer or your kid is somewhere playing something. And you start wondering, is that my kid? What happened to them? And I think we need to cut that cycle. I think we need to have that fear environment that is healthy, that is livable, that we believe that we are in a good environment. We came here to get a pretty good life. And actually everybody in that community and neighborhoods, they feel that way. They came here to find a new hope and new dreams, and the dreams that built on each other, an opportunity that you could succeed. Not a dream that you start running away. I think we are home. If we say Canada, Canada is home. You walk around and you go ask yourself how the kids will go to school, how they will live their life, and what they could become. Today we got two news, even yesterday. For the past week I've been hearing good news. I go to Facebook, I saw so many kids graduating more than ever. I've been here for 12 years. I never seen that graduation to that tremendous. And I started actually literally taking, saving their photos and try to build an album to see like how many kids that graduated this year. And this night we got the news. So we wanted to fight that. We wanted to see the positive. We want to see more kids graduating, not only from high school, but what is next? What are we doing next to actually keep them and actually seeing them? The next thing I want to see is actually standing in their graduation, that they graduated from 4 years, they graduated from whatever they want to take, whatever walk life that they actually chose to be. And I think that's the integration that we're talking about. That's the dreams that we want to bring. That's the hope that we want to build on. Not the fears that today they graduated, tomorrow that you start holding your kid. Please don't go to soccer. Please don't go to basketball. Please don't, you have to be home at 10 o'clock. We want them to be having a healthy life where they could actually prosper. Let's encourage them to do something. Let's encourage them with recreations. In my conclusion, as though I was passionate about actually coming today, talking about those kids, preparing my speeches, and actually talking about the kids that graduated, I'm so sad also to come and conclude it with the kid that actually got hurt and the family that got hurt and the community and the neighborhood that actually now we live in fear. And now we have to even find out the different stories and try to call people, trying to come together as a community, not because of what just happened, the happiness, but to come as a community of what just happened because of the sadness and sorrows. We will live this one, we get a cycle. We usually leave it in happiness for 2 weeks. The next week is the sad news. Let's cut that cycle. Let's basically have that wonderful dreams when your son, when your daughter calls you, he's calling you to say congratulations, trying to surprise you with good things, try to get as much scholarships, try to get as much living that healthy dream that they want to be, those. I asked one kid earlier and they said simply they want to be a basketball player. Well, they could be. The question is, our community now has to stand within that dream and telling them you could be that person. and not even, controlling them and say, in order to be that person, you have to be in, you have to live in the basement. I will drive you to, I will drive you to basketball court and I will bring you. We wanted to have that healthy life that we will ensure that they are prosperous, they have opportunities, they have dreams to be, and we are there to support them. In conclusion, I would like to also thank everybody, and I would like to extend my sincere sorrows, my condolences to the community, to the neighborhood, and also to the family who lost things that sometimes that have a big heart feelings and that are broken, because you can fix everything, but there's some things that you can never fix, that they become the memories, the sad memories. And I think those are the things that can never go away. We can never say we forget them. I think every time something happens, we go back 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 2 days, 1 week. And soon, I hope we're not gonna go into a couple of days, a day, an hour. We have to go into good things that once it starts in a good way, it starts with a healthy way. Thank you so much for coming once again, and I hope this night we take all this stuff and whatever happened, and we take everything, every single opportunity, and experiences are always good. Life experiences are good, because whether they're bad, whether they're worse, whether they're even unforgettable, they always teach us something to stand together and to solve them. And we also have to stand together because nobody could solve those issues but except ourselves, our community. And let's stand together. I will take this moment to actually thank everybody who actually helped organize this one. I'll thank the DJ. I'll thank Skylar. I'll thank everybody who came earlier. I'll thank a lot of people came earlier to come actually visit our community to see who we are, and they left. But you always save the last for good, and the reason why is that our thanks our MC today for the tremendous support that she did. She came all the way from 3 hours driving to just come and actually attend this one and actually help us, and she stood of what she believes in, and she always stands with the youth. So I would like to take this moment also to even take that chance and actually claps and give them welcome for whoever had made this one possible, and for her driving for the 3 hours. Thank you so much for your day. I hope you have a wonderful night.
Thank you, Gar. You said it all, and like I said earlier, unfortunately at this time we won't be able to make any more statement toward this, but we would like to thank everybody who actually made it, who came. I was looking forward for a wonderful night to support our brother, our son, but unfortunately it won't happen tonight. We'll leave it as that. He made me strong at his speech that he just made, and we will leave it as that, like I said. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much for the person who actually made the initiative and put this event together for us, and that would have been Uncle James Dude. It is a lot of things, and it is a lot of gratitude for somebody to step up and do something for our community. This is exactly what we need, and this is exactly what we need to fight for, to help one another, to support each other. It is a voice that needs to come out. But unfortunately, there's a million things that keep holding us back, and this had become one of the night. We'll leave it as that. We'll look forward for another event. Let's support the families that are being affected in this case. I'm one of them. And like I said, with Gar's speech made me strong to still stand here and talk to you guys. And have a wonderful night. If you still have a heart to donate more, you're surely welcome to do that. But other than that, our event will end from here.